What if everything you thought you knew about reality suddenly shifted, like a veil lifting from your eyes, and in an instant you could see a deeper layer beneath it all? That's the kind of experience many people report when they first encounter the teachings of Seth, a spiritual entity channeled by Jane Roberts in the 1960s and 1970s. The awakening of a new understanding. In a time when metaphysical ideas were just starting to take hold in the Western world, Seth's messages brought a revolutionary understanding of God, consciousness, and the very nature of reality. He didn't just ask people to believe in something, he invited them to step into an entirely new vision of existence, one that shifts the meaning of everything we thought we knew. The words of Seth didn't focus on God as a distant authoritarian figure watching over the world. Instead, Seth described God as an all-encompassing creative force, both within and outside of us, intertwined with every aspect of reality. In one of the most powerful messages Seth ever delivered, he explained, "You create your own reality." This concept, though seemingly simple, is a doorway to profound truths and an invitation to step into the role of creator in our own lives. Seth's teachings suggest that understanding this principle changes not only how we live, but also how we relate to the divine. Existentialism philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre famously claimed that existence precedes essence, emphasizing the notion that individuals are not defined by a predetermined nature, but rather create their own essence through choices and actions. This concept aligns with the idea that our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions shape our reality, empowering us to take responsibility for our lives. Additionally, this perspective is echoed in the work of New Thought philosophers like Ernest Holmes and the teachings of the Seth material, which advocate for the power of thought and belief in shaping one's experience. Holmes argued that our thoughts are creative and that by understanding this, we can transform our lives, reinforcing the empowering aspect of being conscious creators. This idea of being creators in our own reality can feel both liberating and intimidating. If we're shaping our reality through our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, does that mean we're responsible for all aspects of our lives? The idea can challenge our traditional beliefs, especially those that teach us to view ourselves as separate from God, as powerless in the face of fate. Seth's message, however, wasn't about assigning blame, but about empowering us to step into our potential as conscious beings. Seth taught that God, or all that is, isn't an entity confined to a heavenly realm, but an active, present force, one that moves within every living thing, every thought, every moment. He described God not as a person, but as a presence, a boundless energy, and an infinite potential that constantly creates and experiences through us. This notion of divinity echoes certain Eastern philosophies, like the idea of Brahman in Hinduism, the ultimate reality that exists beyond all forms and definitions. In these teachings, there is no real separation between the divine and the individual. Instead, each being is an expression of a greater whole. One of the most compelling elements of Seth's teachings is his assertion that this creative force, or God, isn't something out there, but an integral part of us. He even said, "You are as much a part of God as a tree or a star or a universe." Just as each wave is part of the ocean, we too are part of something vast and mysterious, inseparably connected. This understanding doesn't merely comfort us, it empowers us. It tells us that every choice we make, every thought we entertain, and every emotion we experience contributes to the unfolding of reality itself. Seth's messages remind us that God is, at its essence, love and creativity. This concept resonates with the teachings of many spiritual paths, including those of mystics who describe God as an endless ocean of love and creation. When you think of God in this way as a force constantly unfolding through joy, curiosity, and love, it shifts your perception of existence. You begin to see each moment as a part of the divine dance, with you as an essential partner in that unfolding process. Seth goes on to explain that our purpose in this life isn't about obedience to a distant deity, but about embracing our creative power. By exploring, learning, and growing, we participate in the divine process. This reframing of God's role and our role in relation to the divine is life-changing. It challenges us to release the need for outside validation or control and instead turn within where the true power lies. In the words of the mystic Rumi, "You are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop." The real shift, however, comes not just in understanding this truth, but in living it. Seth encourages us to experience life with curiosity and openness, recognizing that every encounter and experience is a chance to connect with the divine within us. This doesn't mean denying life's hardships. Rather, it involves seeing each challenge as part of the broader experience, an opportunity for growth and understanding. But you may wonder, could all this just be an abstract idea? The mechanics of creation. Seth speaks to something deeply practical, something that has the power to change our everyday reality. He doesn't just tell us that we are creators, he explains how creation works step by step. This is where his teachings move beyond philosophy and into a practice, a way of engaging with life that can truly transform it. Seth's central idea is that our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are the building blocks of our reality. Just as a sculptor shapes clay into form, our inner world is the material through which our outer world is crafted. Seth explains that reality, as we perceive it, isn't something fixed and objective. It's fluid, constantly shifting, a reflection of the consciousness that perceives it. This might sound mystical, but Seth assures us that it's simply the nature of existence. In many ways, this aligns with the insights of quantum physics, where the observer plays a role in shaping reality. Think about it this way. Every thought you have is like a stone dropped into a pond, the ripples spread out, touching everything around it. A single thought may seem small, but over time its impact grows, shaping not only our mood and perspective, but also the actual events and circumstances we encounter. Seth's message is that whether we realize it or not, we are always creating, always influencing the fabric of our lives. The challenge, Seth says, is that most of us aren't conscious of this process. We let our minds wander, following habitual thoughts and beliefs without examining them. Many of these beliefs are limiting. They tell us what's possible and what isn't, what we deserve and what we don't. They're the stories we've picked up from society, family, and past experiences. If these stories are left unexamined, they shape our lives in ways that often don't serve us. Seth urges us to become aware of these patterns, to question them, and to consciously choose beliefs that align with the reality we wish to experience. Seth's teaching isn't about forcing positivity or suppressing our true feelings. He emphasizes that honesty with oneself is crucial. The point is to become a conscious creator, aware of the beliefs and emotions we carry and how they influence our reality. Imagine you're a gardener. Seth's message is that you're already planting seeds every day. The question is, are you planting weeds by accident, or are you intentionally cultivating a beautiful garden? To illustrate this, let's look at the example of someone who believes they're unworthy of success. This belief may not be something they consciously think about, but it's there, operating beneath the surface. As a result, they might unconsciously make choices that sabotage their own efforts. They might avoid opportunities, dismiss compliments, or give up too easily. Their reality reflects their belief, reinforcing it in a cycle that's hard to break. But according to Seth, the moment we recognize this belief and choose to question it, we begin to loosen its hold. In fact, just becoming aware of a limiting belief can be enough to start changing it. Seth speaks of this process as a dance with the divine. When we align our inner world with our intentions, we tap into the creative energy of all that is. We become co-creators with the universe, partners in the process of manifesting our dreams. This is where Seth's teaching resonates with ancient wisdom from around the world. In many spiritual traditions, the act of creation is sacred. The words we speak, The thoughts we think and the emotions we feel are seen as powerful forces that shape the world. In Hinduism, for example, the concept of Maya teaches that the world is a projection, an illusion shaped by our perceptions. While Seth's language may be different, the essence of his message is the same. We are creators, and our inner world is the source from which our reality flows. To embrace this way of being requires a shift, a willingness to look within and take responsibility for our own creation. This can be challenging, especially when we face difficulties. It's easy to think of ourselves as victims of circumstances, tossed about by forces beyond our control. But Seth encourages us to see even these moments as part of our own creation, not as a form of blame, but as an invitation to reclaim our power. By understanding that our experiences reflect our inner state, we gain the freedom to change them. Seth reminds us that this isn't about trying to control everything. In fact, control is often a sign of fear, a desire to shield ourselves from uncertainty. True creation, Seth says, involves surrender. It's about aligning with the flow of life, trusting that we are part of something greater. When we release our need for control and open ourselves to possibility, we allow the divine to move through us. This doesn't mean that we stop setting intentions or making choices. It means we make those choices with an open heart, trusting that life will respond in kind. But how, you may ask, can we let go? Embracing the unknown, the role of trust in creation. Trust is what allows us to let go of control and align with the creative flow of life. It's what Seth refers to as a partnership with all that is, or the divine source of all creation. To truly understand the power of creation, we must learn to embrace the unknown. In a world that often demands certainty, trusting in something beyond our control is both a profound challenge and a necessary step in realizing our creative potential. Seth teaches that trust is not blind faith. It's not about passively waiting for life to unfold or resigning ourselves to whatever happens. Instead, trust is an active process, a conscious choice to believe that the universe is inherently supportive, that our existence is meaningful, and that everything we experience serves a greater purpose. Trust, in this sense, is about believing in our own power as creators, while also understanding that creation flows best when we work in harmony with the larger forces at play. One of Seth's most powerful lessons on trust involves the notion of inner guidance. According to Seth, every person has access to an inner compass, a source of wisdom that speaks to us through intuition, dreams, and quiet moments of reflection. This inner guidance is our connection to the divine, a channel through which the universe communicates its wisdom. It's not always a loud, clear voice. More often it's a gentle nudge, a feeling of knowing that arises without reason. The more we trust in this inner guidance, the more clearly we hear it, and the more smoothly our lives begin to flow. But trusting our inner guidance isn't easy. We live in a world that prizes logic, analysis, and measurable outcomes. We're taught to seek proof, to doubt what we cannot see, to trust only what can be observed and explained. Yet Seth argues that the deepest truths cannot always be quantified or proven. True creation, he says, involves stepping into a space beyond logic, a space where we let go of our need for certainty and allow ourselves to be led by something greater. This is where many people struggle. We want to control our lives, to ensure that everything goes according to plan. But Seth reminds us that life's true beauty lies in its unpredictability. When we release our grip and surrender to the unknown, we open ourselves to possibilities we could never imagine. This doesn't mean that we stop making plans or setting goals. Rather, it means that we hold our plans lightly, allowing room for the unexpected, knowing that sometimes life has a better plan than the one we envisioned. To illustrate this, imagine planting a garden with only one kind of flower, one color, one shape. It might be orderly and predictable, but it lacks the richness and diversity of a garden filled with many varieties. The most beautiful gardens are those that allow for wildness, that embrace the unexpected, that welcome whatever blooms. In the same way, our lives are most fulfilling when we allow for diversity and spontaneity. Trusting the unknown means planting seeds without knowing exactly how they'll grow, yet believing that, whatever happens, it will be beautiful. This kind of trust is also found in spiritual traditions around the world. In Buddhism, there is a teaching called letting go or non-attachment, which encourages us to release our grip on desires, expectations, and outcomes. In Taoism, the concept of Wu Wei speaks to the art of effortless action, doing without forcing, allowing life to flow naturally. Both of these teachings align with Seth's message. To create in harmony with the divine, we must learn to let go of our rigid expectations and flow with life's natural rhythms. One of the most challenging aspects of trust is learning to embrace difficult experiences. Seth teaches that life isn't meant to be free from pain or struggle. These experiences are part of our journey as creators. When we encounter hardship, it's natural to feel fear, anger, or resistance. But Seth invites us to view these moments as opportunities for growth. Every challenge, he says, holds a gift, a lesson, a new perspective, a chance to deepen our understanding. When we approach life with trust, we can face even the darkest times with courage, knowing that they too are part of our creation. This perspective shifts the way we view suffering. Instead of seeing it as something to avoid or overcome, we begin to see it as a necessary part of our evolution. Like the mythical phoenix, which must go through fire to be reborn, we too are transformed by our trials. Trusting the process doesn't mean we stop feeling pain. Rather, it means we stop resisting it, allowing it to shape us in ways that lead to wisdom and resilience. Seth also speaks to the power of gratitude as a practice of trust. When we express gratitude for our experiences, even those that seem difficult or painful, we affirm our belief that life is inherently good. Gratitude shifts our focus from what's missing to what we have, from fear to appreciation. It's a reminder that, no matter what we face, there is always something to be grateful for. This simple act of gratitude can transform our entire perspective, allowing us to see the beauty in all things. As we cultivate trust, we begin to see that life's challenges are not obstacles, but stepping stones, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and our purpose. This shift in perspective is what Seth describes as living from the soul. When we live from the soul, we move beyond the surface level of existence and into a space of connection, meaning, and purpose. We become conscious creators, actively shaping our reality in harmony with the divine. For now, consider this. What would it look like to trust life fully? To believe that no matter what happens, you are supported, guided, and loved. The transformative power of love in creation. Love, according to Seth, is not just an emotion or a feeling, but a fundamental creative energy that underpins all existence. It is, he says, the very fabric of creation, the essence that shapes and sustains reality itself. Understanding this concept is not just enlightening, it's transformative, and it has the power to change the way we experience ourselves, others, and the world around us. Love is often thought of as a feeling that we give or receive, something exchanged between people or expressed through kindness and compassion. But in Seth's view, love is a much more expansive energy. It is the driving force behind all creation. Every star, every tree, every breath we take is infused with this powerful essence. When we see love as the foundational element of reality, we realize that creation itself is an act of love, a dance of connection and harmony that binds all things together. This perspective shifts how we relate to ourselves and others. When we view creation as a manifestation of love, we begin to see ourselves as interconnected, each of us a unique expression of the same divine source. This interconnectedness is not just a poetic idea, it's a living reality that affects how we experience life. When we recognize that we are all part of the same fabric, we naturally start to treat ourselves and others with greater kindness, empathy, and respect. We realize that every act of love, no matter how small, contributes to the whole, adding beauty, harmony, and balance to the universe. But embracing love as the core of creation also requires us to look inward and confront the barriers we may have built against it. Seth teaches that many of us carry wounds, fears, and insecurities that make it difficult to fully open ourselves to love. We may fear rejection, loss, or vulnerability, and these fears can cause us to shut ourselves off from the very energy that sustains us. This is where love becomes a transformative force. When we allow ourselves to feel and embrace love, we begin to heal. Love, Seth says, has the power to dissolve our fears, soften our pain, and awaken us to our true essence as creators. This healing process is not always easy. Love asks us to be vulnerable, to let go of our defenses, and to embrace our authentic selves, even the parts of ourselves we may find difficult to accept. Seth's teachings suggest that self-love is one of the most powerful acts of creation, for when we love ourselves fully, we align with the divine energy of the universe. Self-love allows us to see our worth, to trust our inner guidance, and to act from a place of wholeness. It's an act of creation that ripples outward, affecting not only our own lives, but the lives of those around us. The role of love in creation also extends to our relationships with others. According to Seth, every relationship we experience, whether harmonious or challenging, is an opportunity to deepen our understanding of love. Relationships act as mirrors, reflecting back to us our beliefs, desires, and fears. They provide a space in which we can practice forgiveness, compassion, and empathy. Through our interactions with others, we learn about ourselves, we grow, and we evolve. In this sense, relationships are not just connections with others, they are sacred spaces for creation and transformation. One of the most profound aspects of Seth's teachings on love is the idea that love is not limited by time or space. Love, he says, transcends physical boundaries and continues to exist beyond our human lifetimes. This concept is reflected in spiritual traditions around the world. In Hinduism, for instance, love is seen as a binding force that transcends lifetimes, connecting souls across many incarnations. In Christianity, love is described as eternal, a divine quality that exists beyond the material world. These teachings remind us that love is not bound by the limitations of the physical realm. It is an eternal energy that we carry with us, a thread that weaves through our experiences, our relationships, and our souls. As we deepen our understanding of love, we begin to see that creation is not something separate from us. We are not merely passive observers of the world, we are active participants in the ongoing act of creation. Every thought, every word, every action contributes to the reality we experience. When we create from a place of love, we align ourselves with the divine energy of the universe, and we bring more harmony, beauty, and light into the world. This shift in perspective can have a profound impact on our lives. When we approach creation from a place of love, we no longer feel the need to control or manipulate. We trust in the natural flow of life, knowing that we are guided by a force greater than ourselves. We become co-creators with the universe, working in harmony with the divine to manifest our highest potential. This is the essence of Seth's message, that love is the key to creation, the energy that brings our dreams into reality and transforms our lives. Seth also emphasizes that love is a choice. Every moment offers us the opportunity to choose love over fear, compassion over judgment, kindness over resentment. These choices, though seemingly small, are powerful acts of creation. When we choose love, we align ourselves with the divine, we open ourselves to the flow of life, and we create a reality that reflects our highest aspirations. Love, in this sense, is both a path and a destination, a way of being that brings us closer to our true nature as creators. We are not separate from the universe, we are not limited by the boundaries of time or space. We are, in fact, divine creators, capable of shaping our reality through love. This is the transformative power of Seth's message. Once we understand this truth, everything changes. We see ourselves, others, and the world through new eyes, recognizing that we are all part of the same creation, all expressions of the same divine love. In embracing this understanding, we step into a new way of being. We become conscious creators, aware of our power, aligned with our purpose, and connected to the infinite love that flows through all things. This is the path that Seth invites us to walk, a path of love, creation, and transformation. And as we walk this path, we discover that life itself is a sacred journey, a play of love, a continuous act of creation that brings us ever closer to the divine. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.